Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's going to be the red R towards the bottom right. Also leave us a like and some comments. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to print on a tote bag using the RI4000. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change our platen. So this is our medium platen. It's a little big for our tote bag, as you guys can see. So we're going to change this out by just pulling up on it. And we're going to put our small platen on here. Now these are magnetic, so you just kind of drop it in towards the back. Make sure that's aligned to that bottom pin right here. And it falls into place. I'm going to remove my hoop here. Now this tote bag is 100% cotton, so we're going to treat it as if it was a cotton shirt, okay? Now I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this bag because I want to put this around my platen. I don't want any weird bumps sticking out of it, so we can get a good smooth surface to print on. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I got the corner. I'm going to go ahead and push this corner in. Push this corner in. So it looks like this. Okay. Now that I got that on there, I'm going to put this tote bag right here on the platen. Now keep in mind, guys, our straps here are towards the left side. That's going to be important later on in the video. Okay, that's on there pretty smooth. Now we're not spraying this with water because this is a tote bag. There's not a lot of fibers to it, so we're just going to print on it directly, okay? Going to put my hoop on here, make sure it's pretty evened out. Alright, now that we got our tote bag in here, we're going to go over to the computer and select an image and do some settings. Alright guys, so now that we got our tote bag placed on our printer, we're going to come over to the computer and we're going to open up color gates. I'm going to go to my hot folders and I'm going to select my color cotton profile here. Okay, I'm going to select my image. Okay, once that's loaded, I'm going to go to my settings by double clicking on my settings file here using my left mouse key. First thing I'm going to do is go to the printer tab and I'm going to change my media size from a medium platen to a small platen. As you guys can see here, the width of my platen is a little smaller than the actual image. We'll change that in a second. Now we are going to print this image sideways, so we're going to rotate this. We're going to go to our jobs tab and we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. And we're going to hit OK. Okay, so now that it's rotated, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the width here. So we're going to change that to 11 and I'm going to center my image. Now by looking at it here, it looks like the top of the tree is going to print on the right side of the platen. To get an actual view of how this image is going to come out of the printer, we'll go to this tab right here and it says printer output. So this is how the image is going to come out of the printer. As you guys remember, our handles are over here towards the left, so that's going to print correctly. Next, we're going to go back to our settings. Again, we're going to double click on our file here using the left mouse key. And we're going to go to the color tab. We are going to print this 1200 by 1200 16 pass. We're going to go to our settings here. Now our tote bag is a little porous, so for this first test print, I'm going to go ahead and do a 25 on my minimum. I'm going to keep my limit to 100. Intensity here is going to be 98. I'm going to do a -2 choke on it. Now my graphic here doesn't have a lot of whites, so I am going to turn off my highlights. I'm going to change my enhancer from constant to gradient. And I'm going to add a little bit of enhancer. I'm going to go from 30 to 35. I am treating this as a black shirt because our tote bag is 100% cotton. For the color correction, we're not going to do any adjustments on the gamma, contrast, or brightness. If we need to do that after our first test print, we'll come back in here and we'll make some subtle adjustments. Okay, I'm going to go to my rib tab here. I'm going to make sure my document transparency is selected. So that's good right there. So now that we have our file all set up, we're gonna go ahead and drag it over to the print queue by holding the left mouse key, putting it on the print queue, and it's on its way to the printer. All right, guys, so now let's go over to the printer. We're gonna do our height adjustments and we're gonna run this print. All right, guys, now that our image has been transferred to the printer, you can see it on my display right there. We're gonna go ahead and do our height adjustments. So to do that, we're gonna go to our display panel and we're gonna set this to a medium plan so we can do that height adjustment. Okay. So what you wanna do, you wanna select height adjust, auto adjust, you're gonna go to standard, and we're gonna go to a small plan there. Now in case you guys don't have these options here, what you wanna do is you wanna go to settings, options, you're gonna right click until you see optional plans. You wanna make sure the little blue light there is on, okay? So let's go back to our shirt icon, height adjust, auto adjust, standard, and small plan. All right, that's all the way in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my jigs so we can run with the cover open so you guys can see how it prints. Open up this cover. Gonna get my little bypass jigs here. And I'm gonna press print. All right, so right now what it's gonna do is gonna lay down the enhancer. Let me get you guys a bird's eye view of that. It's kind of hard to see, guys, but there's a small outline of the graphic being printed by the enhancer. Next, it's going to come over towards the front of the machine and it's going to go to our colored carriage and it's going to put the first layer of white. So you guys remember we have 2 layers of white because the first layer reacts with the enhancer, kind of coagulates it, prevents the ink from seeping through the material. And then we do our second layer of whites, which is going to make our image look nice and vibrant. So there's going to be our first layer of white right there. Okay, so when it's done printing, we are going to press this as a shirt. So we're going to keep our temperature at 270. We're going to do a 30-second hover. And then after that, we're going to do our 2-minute press to make sure our ink is cured. Okay guys, so that's our first layer of white, and next we're gonna go into our second layer. Give you guys a little view how that looks a lot brighter with that second layer. You guys can see there towards the top here, it looks a little brighter than the bottom part of it. Guys, now our printer is doing the color layer. Let me give you guys a view of that. And we're about 80% finished there. Alright guys, so there's our print there. I'm going to go ahead and take out the hoop. I'm going to make sure the bend part's here of my image. Okay, so you guys have a view of that. That looks really nice. Now, I'm going to get my tote bag here and this bend part, I'm going to put towards the back of the press. And I'm going to make sure that my straps here are nice and flat. I'm going to do my 30-second hover dry. I'm going to do the full 30 seconds, guys, just to make this video a little shorter. So we'll pretend that's 30 seconds right there. we're gonna get a parchment paper, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on top, and we're gonna press that. Alright guys, our heat press is about to be done, and there we go. Let's go ahead and remove our parchment paper. And here's our final product. Alrighty guys, thank you for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, give us a like, leave us some comments, and we'll see you guys next time.